Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. If you're in the phone flipping industry, one thing you're going to recognize is a lot of the phones that are going to be approached to you or phones that people are trying to sell you are going to be iCloud locked or bad IMEI. So with that said, I actually got a question on this on my YouTube. So I thought I'd make a YouTube video out of it simply because there is a couple things that you guys need to know, and I think this will apply to all of you. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about what you need to do and what kind of steps you need to take to sell a bad IMEI/iCloud locked phone. So with that said, let's get into it. So if you guys don't know what iCloud locked means, it's basically the previous owner of the phone just basically can't get into the phone because they forgot a password, or in most cases, they're not the people that are going to be trying to sell you the phone aren't actually the ones that own the phone. So with that said, most of these phones are probably going to be coming from like Craigslist if you're putting ads up there, a couple from like OfferUp, but you won't see too many of those on like Facebook Marketplace. Simply because those are like accredited sellers, are more trustworthy, whereas people on Craigslist are just trying to get some quick cash for a phone, usually not their kind of phone. But we should not see it as like that. We just have to look at the phone as something that has value to us, and like maybe it's their phone or not, but we can't assume that. So we're simply just trying to make a profit off these phones. But with that said, one very important thing that I take into consideration, and I don't know if you guys have already, but with iCloud locked phones, a lot of the time you're going to see them that they're also bad IMEI. But if you find an iCloud locked phone and you're going to try to resell it on eBay, which I'm guessing most of you will, I always assume it as a bad IMEI phone because I never want to have that return. I just want to always assume that it's bad IMEI simply because most of the phones are not the original owner of the people that are trying to sell you the phone. So with that said, I always pair iCloud locked and bad IMEI together. Even if it's already not bad IMEI when you're like somebody buys the phone, I'm still going to list it as a bad IMEI with the iCloud locked on it, simply to save myself that precaution that I don't want to return, and somebody that's trying to buy it is trying to take off the iCloud with some trick or hack they're doing, but they didn't recognize that it's bad IMEI, and the original owner of the phone could report it lost or stolen at some point, and most of the time they will. Obviously if they don't have their phone, you should report it lost or stolen, so it's going to turn into a bad IMEI at some point. Some phones don't, but I've seen it very rarely where they're not bad IMEI. But with that said, like if you're going to be reselling on eBay, which I'm guessing most of you will, because nobody in the local market really going to buy that phone unless they're like us and a reseller, which means you're probably not going to make any profit off of it. If you're selling to another reseller, I always will list it as bad IMEI in like the title and the description. And one thing with bad IMEI phones, and I do this similar to just any phone I sell on eBay, but if you scroll through listings, obviously you can type in the exact type of phone that you're selling, and there's going to be some on there. I mean, there's millions of phones sold on eBay every day. I click sell one like this. So if you find a listing that's pretty much the exact same phone as that you're trying to sell, same color, like if there's cracks, there's cracks, if there's no cracks, there's no cracks, the exact same phone, like let's say it's iCloud locked, bad IMEI, I'm going to click on that little button that says sell one like this, because they basically did all the work for me. I simply just have to make my description, put in my own pictures and stuff like that. So I'll always do sell one like this. And if you guys are new to eBay, that's what I recommend as a beginner too, whether you're selling an iCloud locked phone or just any type of used or brand new phone. I always just click sell one like this. I'll never start a new listing by myself because a lot of the times you get product ratings if you see sell one like this phones. And then one key thing that you should be doing when listing an iCloud locked phone is you should never be listing it as just used or brand new or new other. It always has to be listed as 4 parts or not working. If you resell it as something else, the buyer of the phone, if they end up buying the phone because they didn't recognize it was bad IMEI, they're just like a bad buyer in general, which is not their fault because you're listing it as something it shouldn't be. They can easily return the phone. You're going to lose money. You're going to have to pay for shipping and try to resell it again. So that's one very important tip, is you have to put it as 4 parts are not working. Even though it might be a working phone, it's basically going to be used for parts, because I don't know any way that you can unlock an iCloud. You basically just have to jailbreak the phone, and then it's probably stuff is going to go wrong from there. But one thing I always do in my description is I will actually list the IMEI of the phone in the description itself, because most of the, as I said, I always assume it's a bad IMEI. Even if it's not, I'm going to list it in there because the IMEI isn't really going to affect anything if I'm already assuming it's bad IMEI. If it's bad IMEI, nobody's going to take that IMEI from you. If you guys don't know, there's like some schemy people that out there will take good IMEIs, put them on new phones. So if you're listing a new phone, I never recommend putting the IMEI in the description. But a lot of times if you don't put the IMEI in like an iCloud locked bad IMEI listing, people are going to ask for it because they want to see like the carrier. They just want to make sure the gigabytes of the phone is correct, because you can still tell that with a bad IMEI. You just need that number, and it's just going to save you a lot of time. I used to not do that, and I used to get like 10 emails a day where I have to just shoot out the IMEI. Whereas if you guys want to save some time, simply just put that IMEI in there. You're not losing anything. Nobody's going to report you or anything like that. It just simply makes your life easier. And one last thing that I always put in my description is I put in bold letters: do not buy this phone if you don't understand what bad IMEI is or iCloud locked. You want your buyer to be the most knowledgeable about the phone. You want to list it as if the buyer knows exactly from top to bottom, inside out, what the phone they're going to be getting. And most of the case, they already know. Like, people that are going out and looking for bad IMEI / iCloud locked phones are going there for a reason, because they're either shipping internationally, they do some weird stuff with the phone, or like they know how to unlock it, or whatever they're going to do with it. It doesn't really affect us. They're probably going to know what it is, but in the occasional case, people will end up on those listings, and you just want to make sure that they know, like once they go to the description, that they know that you're having a bad IMEI phone / iCloud locked, even though it might not be bad IMEI. So I hope those tips help you guys. It's definitely a key to creating a successful listing with iCloud locked devices. I personally resell iCloud locked devices simply because they're a great way to make money. I'll be honest with you guys, I'd say about 40 to 50% of the phones that are in my inventory going in and out are iCloud locked. Maybe it's the town I'm in, I don't really know. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. If you have any comments, let us know. Let the community know exactly what kind of phones you're buying. But for me, a lot of them are iCloud locked. I don't know why, but in my town, maybe people are schemy, but it's an easy way for us to make money. And the people that are selling those phones, as I said before, are usually not going to be the original owners, so they're just looking for any cash, and you can leverage that by really negotiating a price and bringing them down upwards like of $100 to $200 less than they're actually trying to sell the phone for, because it's cash, and they see it as like they never invested in it, and they're just trying to get some money for finding a phone and going to resell it. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not part of the family, hit that subscribe button below. It's just a little red button. We just passed 200, so I'm trying to think of a cool video to make for you guys, something that's very valuable, something that I haven't done before for hitting 200. So give me a couple days, I'll release something pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that, and thank you for letting me reach this 200. And if you're already subscribed, I definitely appreciate it. And if you're not in that Phone Flipping Facebook group, I have the link down below. You just basically have to answer 3 questions, just kind of how you got there, and any questions you might have, just so I can answer them or answer them in a YouTube video. Just kind of giving me ideas for things that you guys want to know. So with that said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.